Hi Libra, welcome to your end of December 2019 General Tarot Update. I'm Raina. Hi. Shuffling the cards is what I'm really doing. I'm going to just... Sometimes I show the cards because I haven't gotten this accusation in a long time when somebody goes, how come you never show the cards? Well, it's just easier sometimes, but you know. Well, once again, I got the Hangman upside down, but if you look at it, it looks like it's right side up because of the way it is. I got to remember to put it back in the deck the other direction. But it was meant to be, obviously, right? If you don't think it was meant to be, I don't know why you're watching this. Okay. Well, isn't it funny? The first and the last cards that I picked are both swords, and your swords. All air signs are swords, aren't they? So the heart of the matter is the Ace of Swords. You are swords, air signs, Gemini, Aquarius. Maybe a new relationship with a person of that sign. But in general, this is a card of cutting through illusion. So when I say illusion, I usually think of denial. And this can be in all areas of life. It can be from the area of believing that your partner isn't cheating when they come home at 3 in the morning every night, to not believing that a family member is on drugs and or stealing from you, and things are missing from the house and they have changed their behavior has changed. You know, denial can be in any area of life. And this is about being able to cut through the illusion because you're trying to move ahead in your life. That's one of the things that is so hard for people to understand, is that, yes, I understand why people do get into that trap of denial, because they're trying to protect themselves from a very unpleasant truth. I totally get it. But the problem is that what it does is it prolongs the inevitable, which is that, you know, if it's something bad, you're going to have to deal with it sooner or later. And, you know, sometimes it is good to, like, put it off, but sometimes it may not be advisable to put it off, because then you're going to be suffering in the meantime. And in the past position, we have the Hangman in reverse, and this is kind of like getting off the cross. So in other words, for you know, in the upright position, the Hangman can be kind of a sacrificial energy, like you're willing to put your needs aside for somebody else. You're willing to surrender to the situation itself. Sometimes it can be waiting for a decision. This can be taking action in the reversed position. Perhaps in some cases you did kind of like put your life on hold for somebody else and found out that they were just stringing you along. And I just have to say, when I'm doing these readings for just the last portion of the month as an update, it's not to suggest that all of these themes are coming in at once. Actually, this particular placement or position is in the past. And so the Ace of Swords is really what is front and center now. But you may have made the decision, Libra, that you were not going to allow somebody to string you along. Perhaps you had some kind of a job offer and you just didn't accept any other offers because this one seemed like really good, and time elapsed and you finally realized that perhaps it wasn't as serious an offer as you thought it was, and that could feel kind of disappointing, because you may feel like somebody wasn't straight with you. And that's kind of what the Ace of Swords is like clarity of thought, which comes from within you. It's not waiting for somebody else to tell you the truth, because sometimes people don't do that. It's not to their benefit to tell you exactly what is going on. They may build something up so that they have the upper hand, and that sucks. That really sucks, but it's up to all of us to decide, based on how people act, how long we're going to wait, and this is like you're not going to wait anymore. And the higher message is the World card. This is the card, this last card of the Major Arcana, kind of wrapping things up. So suggesting maybe this is the end of a cycle for you, and therefore what you may have wanted to have manifested was not really in alignment with your current path. So the World card is a Major Arcana card, the last card of the Major Arcana, and the Ace of Swords is a card of beginnings, and it's in your suit of air, of swords, air, or your element of air. So it kind of shows that you are moving forward, but there was a need to close a chapter in your life. And so if you have any doubt and you're kind of like second guessing yourself, don't do that, because it was right on time. What crosses you is the Page of Pentacles. If there was any kind of, this may just be reiterating what I was saying before, because there may have been like a new job that you thought you were going to go to, or even like something related to money. This can be a message about money that somehow got lost, got delayed. Well, we had a Mercury retrograde last month, and actually, interestingly, the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio was in your second house of earned income. So there may have been something where a check got lost in the mail. And even though Mercury has come out of its shadow and things like that, the aftermath of this in this money house for you may have definitely impacted your ability to move forward for some reason. So, and it's so funny because I got this, I feel like I got this for like Virgo or something. I had something very similar. And in other situations, like, again, I mean, if this is some kind of a relationship, the Hangman is connected to Neptune, but that's the ruler of Pisces. So if you had some kind of a Pisces relationship and that person was deceptive, you're seeing the light, and really the spiritual message is that it was time, that it had run its course. The Page of Pentacles in a relationship in the challenge position could be that, especially with earth energy, any type of new relationship, either it's with somebody of the earth element, which is Taurus, Capricorn, I think is a big one with Libra, or what's the other earth sign? Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The timing isn't right for that relationship, but also I think beginning a substantial relationship, because when I see Earth, Pentacles in love readings. And this, not to say that this is supposed to be a love reading, but I'm speaking on it for those who it resonates. This is, to me, talking about something that is a serious relationship, where you're building a life with somebody. And it may be that you cannot, jump from the frying pan into the fire because it's just too soon. And I could see, some Libra people who feel like that's how they want to proceed, is that they want to end a relationship and begin another relationship right away because it feels more comfortable to be in that type of interaction. But ultimately, especially if you have been involved with somebody for a long time, that might not be advisable. It might be, better to get to know yourself more. But this could definitely be something that's frustrating you because you're trying to get some kind of, like communication about finances, and it just isn't happening. Well, guess what? What's coming in is the Nine of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment card. So this is the answer is yes. Just say yes. And this is a card that connects with wish fulfillment, you getting what you want. And it's funny because I think I did get that for Pisces. So, maybe there's some kind of a connection between Pisces and Libra. And I think, like, you may have been waiting for something for a long time, and, you just about gave up, and then it comes through. And you feel this sense of satisfaction finally. Maybe before you were feeling frustrated or anxious even, that something that you had been wanting for a long time was not going to occur. And especially with the Hangman in reverse, you may have just been like, okay, I'm done, and almost like walked away from something only to find that it was yours all along and it was waiting for you. But perhaps there were things that had to occur first. And that's another thing that's so great about life, is that I really think that if you're meant to have something, you will get it. Now, it might be delayed, but it will eventually come to you. And the outcome is the Queen of Swords. Again, your swords. The Queen of Swords is, to me, a decision. And I had been reading this card for a long time, and I really didn't see that for a long time. And then I said, I think this Queen of Swords, the reason that she is steeling herself, trying to create this sense of being self-empowered so that she can not allow her emotions to get the best of her, is because she has to make a decision, maybe an important decision. And because you have had something that you had a wish come true, you may feel like you're on easy street, but it might just create more, it's like opening another can of worms. Because, for instance, we could read that top, row of cards and say that perhaps you have fallen in love with a Pisces, and maybe that's what the Nine of Cups is. And that has made you aware that your marriage is over with. And so the Hangman in reverse might be the person that you're really supposed to be with. or at least you think you're supposed to be with this person, and you have an important decision to make. Do I go with my head or my heart? And the head might be saying, we're totally different kinds of people. I don't know if we can really make this work. And your heart is that what is drawing you to this person emotionally. So that's just one possible example. And with the World card as the higher message, this is really, talking about cycles in life and how, we fight against certain things, even though deep down we know that something has changed. I'm just thinking about something in my own life, and just like a place that I would go to over and over again, and I felt this sense of comfort. And I'm talking about a long time. I was just thinking about this the other day. Probably, close to 12 years or more. And just, it was like a refuge for me. And then one day, or maybe it was gradually that this happened, that I just knew that my connection to this place was kind of coming to an end. And it was sad because, I was just thinking how important it had been for me. But it's just like there are cycles in life. And we, give thanks for the times when something or someone was a refuge for us. We don't focus on, well, that's not the same, that's not how it is anymore. Just like a person. You might have had a really good relationship with a person, maybe a partner, and then it gradually faded out. And if you're perceptive, you're going to see it, sooner rather than later, and make a decision that is like the Ace of Swords, based on the truth of the situation now. What clouds people's judgment is they're always enamored by the past and, how great it was. Well, maybe it's not that great anymore. And that's okay. Everything has a season. So, this reading is actually a good one because I think that you are looking to the future and you're looking to start new things and even getting what you want, but at the same time, you may still have to take action on your own and not just leave it up to the normal course of things. That you might be at a fork in the road, perhaps. Although maybe a Libra would be like Yogi Berra and say, if you get to the fork in the road, take it. You want to have it both ways, maybe. Okay, Libra, that's what I have for you. I am promoting natal chart interpretations with 2020 transits. I have the link for that below, and I do hope that you end the year doing something that you love with people that you love. Take care. Bye.